Well, that's right. It's me, the stranger, LC. So I'm grateful to be here. It's Winning Wednesday, live with LC and you. And today is like any other day with us. We're going to talk about real life, real recovery, real transitioning, and finding and creating the new you. So I have missed all of you as I've been going through this whole changes and so much. And you know what? Today we're going to talk about it. Before we get going, if you don't mind, you feel led, then go ahead and get us shared out. Let everybody know we're back up live, because I'm sure folks have thought that I just crawled off somewhere. You know what they really probably thought? Oh, that LC's in a relapse. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's talk about him. Uh-oh. That is not the case, nor is that ever going to be true. But, you know, what can you do? What can you do about what other people think, or trying to live up to everybody else's standards? If you do that, you will absolutely never, ever, ever know who you are. And for me, that's what recovery is about. Who am I? What do I stand for? What do I want in this life? What will make me happy? Not in a selfish way, but in a who I am way. We're taught so much to not think about ourselves, to give to everyone else. We're taught that that's what humbleness and humility is. And it's really, really not. Because what we fail to know and what we miss so much at the end of our time is we'll never know who we are and what our passions are and what makes us happy. And for me, I believe that is what part of what recovery is about, is really learning who I am. A lot of us had to go to places that we didn't quite fit in when we were out in the streets. And so we had to learn how to be chameleons. We had to learn to change by the atmosphere we were in order to protect our lives. It's a survival skill. But a lot of times we don't break free of that survival skill, and we stay in that place of being a chameleon. We come out of active addiction knowing that it's a selfish disease. And then we come into recovery going, oh, but let me do this for you. Let me help everybody, because we don't know how to love ourselves. And that's the bottom line. We don't really care for ourselves. We're still living in the guilt and the shame of our mistakes. A lot of people around us aren't letting us live it down. So we feel like we've got to continuously and forever make it up to everyone. But we don't really do that from a place of self-love. So we're doing that to gain approval from those that have always given us their disapproval. And I want to tell you a little secret today on Winning Wednesday, is those people that we've been trying to please and gain their approval for all of our lives, it's not our issue. It is their own lack of self-approval. And therefore, you'll never, ever gain what it is that you are desperately seeking. And sometimes the most desperate approval that you truly, truly need and are looking for in our lives is our own approval. So that's our opening statement. So if you guys are ready, then you know I'm ready. So let's just get to it. What's up, everybody? Good morning, JD, Tim Camps, Alicia Lee, Patrice, Joseph. So good to see all of you. Mary Huffman, Livy LaDonna. Oh, and if anybody else is here and I didn't call you out, please forgive me. StreamYard only shows me so many. And hey, you guys may be the group we're left with There's not a lot of loyalty in the world, and that's okay. That's really, really okay. Because again, everything we seek outside of ourselves for is something that we are desperately seeking for the inside of us. And we look outside to friends, to family, to actually fulfill a need that is desperate within us. It's why we go through so many relationships. We're looking for that Jerry Maguire, you complete me, when really we need to be complete. And I think that's what this whole trip that I've been on lately is, because, we build our security in bricks and mortar. We build our security in homes. We build our security in money. We build our security in jobs. We build our security in people. And let me tell you, all of those things and those people, those outside entities, they can all go away. At the drop of a hat, they can be gone. And then all of a sudden, you are left with the one thing that really is your security, which is you. And I think it is where our positive mindset comes in, not into be a dangerous positive mindset, but the kind of positive mindset that says, I can make something of this trouble. I don't have to live in the suck. I don't have to live in the suffering. I can make something of this. It won't deny that I'm in it, because that's a whole nother issue. That's what me and a good friend of mine talked about the other night is toxic positivity, where you deny that there are weeds in your garden, that you deny that these things are happening to you and try to just keep this positive mindset. That's not the positive mindset that I speak about here. Positive mindset that I speak about is knowing that you are an overcomer, knowing that no matter how long you've been the underdog always can come up and stand strong. And that's what each and every one of us are. You're in recovery because you are standing strong. And it doesn't really matter if you're feeling like it's all falling apart today. If you're feeling at this moment like you don't know if you're going to go through, I don't know if I'm going to make it through this. It's okay to feel that way. I mean, it's absolutely human to feel that way. The difference is, and what breeds success, is that you don't give up, is that you stay in the fight. Not because you're supposed to love the fight, not because you're supposed to love the circumstance, not because you're supposed to someday get it all right and never experience issues ever again. That will only breed disappointment. That will only breed destruction in our lives, because what I have learned through all of this is the one thing we can depend on, and we better get used to, is change. That is the one thing you can count on every day of your life is change. You can't count on something external to fulfill you eternally. It won't happen. And that's why we set ourselves up for disappointments. We go into these codependent relationships, and we've all heard these words. We're in recovery. We've heard these words: codependency, self-destruction, self-sabotage, procrastination. These are all words we know, and we know the definitions well. But really, they're all just little roots off of one main root that's called self-worth. It's called, what do I deserve to have in this life? And why do I deserve it? We're so caught up in that, well, I've done this wrong and I've done that wrong and I've hurt this person and I've hurt that one. So I really don't deserve this. And if I do act like I'm deserving it, then people won't think I'm sorry. Well, we don't necessarily need people to think we're sorry. They thought we were sorry. They've thought that enough. What we need to see is that, wait a minute, I've come through so much. For many of us, I'm a childhood abuse survivor. I'm a rape survivor. I am a hate crime survivor. I have been in situations that are like war zones every day of my life, and here I stand. I'm a badass. And we somehow feel guilty if we look back on our addicted past and feel that way. But I just hope to bring you a message today that says so much of your purpose life lies in the pain of the past, in what you've come through, in what you're coming through now. And if you will sit down and ask yourself, what is trying to emerge from me? We say that a lot here because it's so true. You can go through shit just to go through shit, or you can go through it to find out how it's trying to grow you. And you might not get an audible answer right then that says, hey, Alicia Lee, you are going through this because in 6 months, you are going to minister to someone else. That's not what we get. Many times we'll sit there and think, I don't feel like I got an answer at all. And then you'll be like me, standing at the top of a 10-foot ladder, painting a ceiling going, oh, I get it. Okay. It comes like that. And when we put our limitations on how we get our answers, and we stay frustrated, and we stay wound up, angry, bitter, pissed off that we're going through it, let me tell you, we're creating disease in our body. We're creating sickness. We are dampening our immune system. We're living in survival mode. We can't live in survival mode for years and years and years and years and years at a time and not expect it to have residual effects on our bodies. And so we're in recovery today. And nobody wants to have stress be the thing that takes them out. And we go through fears like that. I know I'm not the only one that got some recovery time and was driving down the road thinking, holy crap, I don't want to kick out in an accident. I don't want to kick out of some disease. I want to live. Like now I'm getting a little taste of life and all that I can accomplish and all that I can do. I don't want to, kick out now. And we lend ourselves to the habit of fear. We lend ourselves again to the habit of survival mode thinking, where we take everything personal, where we think life is against us. And we live in that place. All of us are in a process in recovery of finding out who we really are, because many of us have never known before. We've been this for this person and this for dad who never approved of me and this for mom who never approved of me either. And we've been this for this person. We've been the middleman for all of our friends because that gave us validation. Don't think that we do anything that there is not some type of reward for. That's why many of us become the middleman, because we think, oh, this is the one thing that I can do to gain people's approval. And it's not bad to want people's approval. It's one of our 5 basic human needs. It's when we deny that to ourselves and try to pretend that we don't. When we don't take responsibility and when we don't look at ourselves through a true lens, that we deny these things and we can't fix what we deny. You got to see it to be able to mold it, to be able to go, aha, I get it. And I think that's what we have to come to depend on. The aha moments. Not expecting to be great all the time. It's not possible. This is the work. This is the work, ladies and gentlemen, non-binaries, and every human being out there within the sound of my voice. This is the work You go through things and you do it different, and you learn who you are and what you're made of and how valuable you are. And you learn to love you for just who and what you are now. It may be different tomorrow. You're constantly growing. You're constantly evolving. It's why gratitude doesn't last forever. And then we think something's broken in us because we start out super grateful for this thing. And in about 9 months, we're like, why don't I feel that same sense of gratitude with this? Because you're made to evolve. You're made to always want more. You're not a selfish brat because you want more. You're made to want more. You're made to want to grow. You're made to keep moving forward. And everything flows in our mindset. How you choose to go through the shiz of your life today depends upon your mindset. Do you have a growth mindset or a victim mindset? Are you going to drop back at the first sign of trouble and say, see, life's against me. Every time I try to do well, it comes against me. It's always been coming. It's always been coming. It's the way the universe teaches. It's the way your higher power teaches. It would be great if a big blackboard from the sky dropped down and you had some, hand there to write things out and show you and teach you like we do in a classroom. But that's just not going to happen. And if it does, tell me about it. I'd like to know. But it doesn't happen. Life teaches. Pain pushes until purpose pulls you. And we're not looking for purpose. We are purpose. And it's up to us whether we purpose what we're going through or just let it be pain. I made a commitment to myself and my family that when my son left and my son broke apart, which was again one of my huge securities, he was my one thing. He was my reason why. And now all of a sudden he was breaking away from me and his family. And I made a commitment right then out of sheer destroying pain that I would not waste this pain. That to me, it would be a tragedy to just let this fall away and not learn how to be better, because I knew he had experienced issues from my pain, my past pain, my raisin, if you will, what we say in the South, or my raisin. My screwed up childhood made its way into his childhood, because here's the secret. My drugs, alcohol, my addiction was not the only issue that I had. I was angry. I was not at home in my own skin, and I can't explain to anyone else on earth that has not gone through this what it feels like to be an alien in your own body. And I couldn't release that pain. And I took it out on him. The very thing I loved more than anything in this world. What got me up in the morning, what got me clean, what kept me going was this kid. And yet I was seeing all the stuff that helped, that took me into addiction to cope with. I saw that happening in his life. And it would have been a tragedy if I would have just let it lie like that and blamed him. He wasn't a perfect person. None of us are. But I want to say this to you. You came into this world like everybody does, believing that you could do anything, believing you could be anything, believing you could do anything. You didn't have any body issues. You didn't have any head issues. You came into this world, and then you started gathering your belief systems from those that surrounded you. So when somebody would say, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be Superman. That's just ridiculous. That's not real. You can't be that. Boom. A belief system is born. And then you start questioning all of your beliefs. You see, he wasn't a perfect kid, but he was molded by us. And before we take full responsibility for who and where and what we are, and all our raising and all our baggage and all of those things, we don't really realize that. So I think our biggest gift today would be to realize that drugs and alcohol are not our biggest problem. We may have found this amazing place of transformation called recovery through those vehicles, but it's not where it all ends. We can give those things up and still be the same miserable, confused people that we've ever been. We've got to take charge of our lives and decide that we want to change and not expect it all to happen overnight, and to know that when we pray for change, we're going to get change. We've got to use our growth mindset to look at what seems like trouble in our lives as what is this trying to grow in me? How can I keep proving to myself that I am an overcomer, that I am victorious, that I am not alone? I am supported in this world, whether it's by something I can see or not. Everything. Not to go biblical on y'all at all, but I love the story of the woman with the issue of blood. Now, most of us know this story, and I want to remind us of what it says there. Her belief made her whole. She believed, if I could but touch the hem of his garment, I will be healed. And you notice that Jesus didn't turn around and say, I have healed you. He said, your belief has made you whole. What are your belief systems today, guys? What do you believe about you, your abilities, what you're going through, who you are, and who you're becoming? Can you believe that you are exactly where you're supposed to be at exactly the right time? Can you believe that what is meant for you will be for you and no one else can take it from you? Will you relax and stop chasing after success and be success right now and gather the lessons that are upon us? What will you decide to believe about you and your limitless possibilities today? That's my question to you, because that's been my question to myself. Who are you, LC? Everything is changing on the inside of you and the outside of you, LC. Sometimes I want to say, stop the madness, please. But you know what? Keep it coming. You obviously know that I can take it. And there is transformation and breakthrough within what seems to the outside eye as troubles. I have a choice today whether to stare at my troubles, stare at the injustice, talk about the injustice, believe that it's an injustice, want revenge, be angry, or I have the ability to look around me and see the blessed home that these almost strangers offered to us, not because they feel sorry for us, but they've offered us this home until February. They've offered us this home where they say, hey, we're going to pay the bills. Y'all just live there, fix the little things that need to be fixed, take care of some projects there, and we're going to take care of the rest. What a beautiful blessing. What does that show me in life? That there are beautiful and amazing human beings still at work in this world. And the choice is mine of where I put my energy. Do I put it in gratitude? Do I see this beautiful opportunity that has been placed in front of me for us to buy a home? Why continue to, it's just fear that keeps us from stepping out. It's routine, it's comfort that keeps us from stepping out. It's time for us to embrace growth and let it go. Grow. You are beautiful human beings. You really, really are. Like every one of us really are. So unique. And I'm sorry for the programs that are at work in our world right now that says, oh no, you have to look like this to be good, or you have to have this job to be good, or you have to have this amount of money to be considered wealthy or successful. Oh, and you got to have this religion. Oh, and you got to believe this to be good. And if you don't, well, sorry, you're worthless. That breaks my heart. More than anything, for the children that are coming up behind us, that are believing just as we did. Many of us that had weight problems, we started believing that we had no control over ourselves, that we weren't good enough because we didn't look like people on TV, or somebody inevitably all the time made comments about our weight. I was a big kid. I went through this. I was a big adult and went through this. There's so many things out in front of us that are going to remind us or try to point out everything that's wrong in us. But here's the secret and the truth. You were born uniquely you. Embrace that today. Make that the new trend. Make authenticity the new trend. Make passion and purpose the new trend. Realize that everybody that comes against you today is not coming against you. They're really coming against themselves. I've learned this the hard way. I create fear in people, and they lash out at me. And they somehow think that it's going to hurt me because it used to. But what they're doing is doing me a valuable favor. They are reminding me of how strong and amazing I am, because when they come against you, you must be doing something right, because you're shaking things up, baby. You're shaking up the old paradigms. You're shaking up the old mindsets. You are making that enemy in me shake in his shoes. That's what you're doing. So be the beautiful you today. That's all you really can be. Trying to be somebody else, it ain't worked yet, right? So just be you. That's my whole long message. Be you. Love you. Build security in you. Your highest power lives within you and wants to stand up, make itself known. We can't be like everybody else. They're already taken. So let's just be us today. That's the message. So I love you guys so much, and I have missed you so much. I am going through some growth. You guys got to know everything on the inside of me is changing. I feel foreign all over again, but I know that This foreign person is actually all the puzzle pieces clicking into place. And I'm excited about it. And I've gone through some areas where I've let my body get sick over stress, over trying to please too many people. Have you ever noticed it's when you get to the brink of everything that those lessons of surrender and pleasing you kind of just fall into place? When you're laying flat on your back because because you didn't listen to all those, times that, your higher power was going, hey, slow down. Hey, you can't please everybody. Hey, remember, I can't even please everybody. There's a football game going on somewhere in the world, and each side is praying to win, and both can't win. So, look, I'm trying to grow, doing many changes. My mission is changing. We're going to start doing some different things. And I hope you guys will come along with me. I really do. I have grown to love so many of you. All of you, really. You help my dreams come true. And I pray. I see my only mission on this earth is to help your dreams come true as well. To help you love you just as you are. Because you're wonderful. Perfectly made. Just as you are. So, I'm going to let y'all go. Anthony Brown, good morning, sir. I love you so much. Larry Brown's in the house. Man, I love you. Gosh, you are an amazing human being. All of you are. Janet McClanahan, good morning. Max Naste, good morning, sir. I love you. So I don't think I've missed anybody. I hope not. Jimmy C, the legend in our house. I love it. Hey, if there's anybody out there that I haven't called out or said hello to personally, it's because StreamYard only shows me so many. Just know that I thank you for being here. I love you so much. And I really hope to see you guys on Friday. But you know what? I'm making no promises because everything's shaking up here in LC world. But it's good. It's all good. And I want you guys to know that. You never have to worry about me. It's all good. I'm always learning. And sometimes when I have to fall back, it's so great to be able to reach out to my warriors and depend on, Mary Huffman made the announcement for me. That means so much for me to be able to reach out, because sometimes we got to reach out and ask for help. That's the biggest thing. It's a big secret about growth. Sometimes we got to reach out and ask for help. And so do that today if you need it. I love you guys so much. I want you to love yourself. You deserve it. And God willing, I'll see you guys on Friday. So have the greatest winning Wednesday your entire life, because you choose to do that and you are that powerful. I love you guys, and I'll see you Friday, God willing. Bye.